This conference will now be recorded.
So first of all, I will explain about the S/4HANA system. In S/4HANA system, basically we got HANA Studio. This is Eclipse based tool. So basically in S/4HANA, SAP has added our ECC and BW server at one place. So we can access now ECC table in our S/4HANA as well as BW table in S/4HANA server. Before than S/4HANA, there was different server like ECC on HANA and BW on HANA. So in S/4HANA, they brings concept of Fury app also. So they provided lots of Fury app, and they, with the help of HANA Studio, we can create our HANA objects like CDS view, AMDP class, HANA view means calculation view, attribute view. We can create procedure, external view, which we can't use with the help of SAP GUI. So the login screen of HANA Studio looks like similar to SAP GUI icon. So it will also ask you the user ID and password. And after logging with the help of user ID and password, you will get a screen like this. And then we have a different perspective for working. So we called it open perspective. And here we can find the list of all the possible perspective where like we can work. So we can see ABAP. ABAP means when you will select ABAP here, after then you can get icon here ABAP, and you will get ABAP repository. This is your project explorer. So where you can work your in ABAP side you can work means you can create CDS view, AMDP class, and you can see all the objects of ABAP which we like created into SAP GUI. So it is loading your ABAP repository. So in SAP GUI, if like we are creating any ABAP reports, any class, so all we can see here.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So from here we can find out our all the package which we create in SAP GUI, and here we can do our development. So in this session, I will explain about HANA developments. So this is HANA development perspective. So again, if you will not find this icon in your system, so this icon you will find by default it will comes. So you need to press here, and then it will open the open perspective list. And from here you can select ABAP. You can select ABAP HANA development. So ABAP HANA development means there you can find all these three perspective: project explorer, like for ABAP perspective you can find project explorer, then you can see repository, then you can see systems. So in HANA development you need to develop your HANA objects. HANA object means your HANA native HANA of calculation, attribute, procedure, and these all things. And when you will click here on systems, then you will find by default catalog, content, provisioning, security. So catalog, in catalog basically we need to create a schema first. This is a SQL console. So from SQL console we can create a schema first. So a schema is nothing, it is a collection of table. Means after migration of data from ECC to HANA, S/4HANA, we need to create a schema first. So all the standard tables will comes in this schema from other environment, like from ECC to HANA. We can replicate all the data with the standard tables in schema. And in schema, when we create any our HANA table, so that all the HANA table list we can find in schema. So when we will expand this, so we will find so many options here. Like if we will create HANA tables, I am not talking about GUI tables, like GUI which we create through SE11, that custom table will not come here. Here only we can find the standard table of ECC and BW and our HANA table, which we will create with the help of SQL console and with the help of HANA CDS. Okay, then we can find out the procedure list here, which we will create triggers, functions. So all the developments will get a store here under schema. So schema is very important before any development. Like our ABAP side, before any development we need package. So same kind of things here, before like working and after migration, during migration of the data from ECC to HANA, first of all HANA admins needs to create this schema, which we can create with the help of SQL console. Like here we can write our code, create schema, and here you need to execute it. So if you will execute from here, so you will get message below like this schema has created or not. So your schema has created. When you will refresh it, then you will, if you will search, you will find the schema name. Okay, so this is schema needs to create first. And in schema there are different sections like tables, procedures, and these all things. Then we have content folder. So here we need to create package first. This is the icon for package. So we need to create package first. So we need to click here, right click here, and we can create package before doing developments of HANA objects. HANA objects, again I am saying HANA object means calculation view, attribute view. We call it data modeling also. Like after data provisioning, after data migration, we need to works in data modeling part. So being a ABAP HANA or BW HANA, we need to work on data modeling part also. So before creation of HANA objects, we need to create content. So this is the icon for package. So under content, we need to create package first. From here, we can create, right click and create our package. Inside package, we can create sub package also. Like in this package, you can go and you can create another package. Okay. So, so this is the introduction of HANA view. So in HANA view, attribute view comes. So what does mean attribute view? So attribute view acts like a dimension, acts like a data source. It joins multiple tables and act as a master tables. We can create attribute view on one table also, like it is a view. So we can create attribute view on existing data table, data source. On existing data source, we can create attribute view as per our required fields. Which fields we want to show in output, we need to select only those fields. So we can create attribute view, and for master table we need to create attribute view only. So attribute view is a reusable objects. It means you can consume same attribute view multiple times in other objects, like during creation of calculation view you can consume your attribute view. So attribute view has some advantages. So those are attribute view act as a master data context which provides text or description of key or non-key field. Basically in attribute view we create for showing master table records, and we can reuse attribute view in calculation view. In attribute view there is no measure, no aggregation option. Measure and aggregation means like you want some at such fields, so those kind of facility is not available in attribute view. Measure means like any quantity fields you can't use that, only text purpose we used attribute view. Like suppose we have material master table, like we have some customer details, we have some language tables. Where like text only we need master tables, like uh, for those tables we need to create attribute view. So attribute view are of three types. I will show you. So after creation of package, you can create your attribute view here. So this is my package and here I am creating attribute view. So from these options here you can find attribute view, analytic, calculation, analytic privilege procedure, decision table, all the options we have. So we are selecting here attribute view. For naming convention, it is not hard and fast that we need to use Z or Y. For HANA view, we can use any letter. Like here, I am using 80, 25. In label, you can give your description name. Attribute view for customer detail. So as per your requirements, you can give here the description lab name in label. Then I was talking about types of attribute view. So that is here I was talking about a standard, time and derived. So we can create a standard means basically we can consume our database table directly. Time means suppose we have to show some time like physical year calendar. So for that purpose we can create time. we can select here time. Then derived means if once you have created attribute view and next time you need to use that attribute view, so you can use that existing attribute view from here. If you will select derived here, so it will ask you to browse. So you can browse already existing attribute view and you can only make changes into description. Nothing it will allow to change you. Like you can't add some extra field, nothing. Only you can change in label part. So that is called derived attribute view. Then we have option copy from. Copy from means again it will ask you browse the existing attribute view. Here you can make changes in attribute view, like you can add fields there. After copy any existing attribute view, it is requirement to add some more field. So you can go with these options. Copy from. You don't need to create again attribute view with existing all the fields which you are using in some previous attribute view. So simply you can copy from the browse options. You can copy the existing attribute view and you can add your others required field. Okay, so this is the type of attribute view. So suppose I'm creating one standard attribute view. So when you will finish it, then you will find this screen. So data foundation, in data foundation you can select your table from database, and in semantics you can select your primary key field, a label name you can change if you want to hidden some fields. So that all you can do from here. So from here you can, this is the arrow sign, you can add objects from here. You can search any table and you can do OK. Then your table will come here. Then for output of fields you need to select if you want to show maintainer, mandate, ERSDA. So you can select from here, and by default your output fields will come here. You can find its data type, envar character, and you can change the sequence of field also from here. Then you need to go in semantics and you need to select key fields. It is mandatory to select key fields. Okay. Then from this option you can save and validate. Below side you will get message that there is any error or not. If it will okay, so it will not get any error. Then from these options you can save and activate, and from this option you can data preview. And from raw data you can check all the records. From distinct value you can find the maintainer counting. You can find unique value, distinct values it will show you. From analysis, your required field you can select here and you can check particular fields. You can change its format, grid, HTML. You can count the ERSD count. You can see the chart. So these are some like functionality provided in data preview. So this is like overall about attribute view. From here you can add filter. Suppose you want to add filter here, so right click, click filter. So you can put your value in this box. It will like filter. You can sort, from here. You can save it. You can execute it after putting your some value. You can execute it. You can increase number of rows from here. You can refresh it. So this is the like all the information of about attribute view. So it is the part of data modeling, and you need to create it into content, into package. Okay. Then we have second view name. It is calculation view. The data foundation of the calculation view can include tables, column views. Analytic views, basically it is absolute. So there is not more use of analytic view. So in one calculation view, we can consume other calculation view, we can consume attribute view, and we can create joins, unions, aggregation, and projection on data source. So it is also a, like part of data modeling. So in attribute view, you can't do like multiple calculation and everything, like there is not measure value, you can't aggregate. But for that purpose, then SAP introduced HANA view. So in HANA view, you can do multiple calculations, you can use joins, you can use unions, aggregation, projection, rank. Like a rank is used for to like create incremental value. Calculation view can contain multiple measures and can be used for multi-dimensional reporting or no measure, which is used in list type reporting. Characteristics of SAP HANA calculation view as below: support complex calculation. There is client handling options provided in SAP HANA in calculation view. Like we can handle client handling like cross client or like same session client you want to show data. So you can select that options. So it supports client handling, language, currency conversion. It supports union, projection, aggregation, rank. So we will see through practical. Again, for calculation view, at same place we need to create calculation view as like attribute view. Like in package, again we need to create our calculation view. So we can select our package, right click, then new, then we can select calculation view. So for calculation view also, we can keep it names by any other letter than G or Y. Like it is calculation view. So for example, I am taking its name CV 25. Okay. Then in label again, as per like our requirement, logical name we can write here. Okay. Then again we can copy from like existing HANA view. We can copy. Then we have types of graphical and SQL script. So we can create HANA view, calculation view by graphical or SQL script. So SQL script is a language which HANA DB understands. And graphical means drop and drag. Like this is the graphical view. So this is the graphical, and SQL script means coding, coding parts. Okay. So we will see the example of calculation view. So from here, like we can select CV underscore 25. Calculation view. Then from here we can select standard or time. I'm selecting a standard. Then in type we can select graphical. Then we have a data category type. So data category type means if we will select dimension, so it will come by default projection view. Suppose I am taking dimension here. So it will come projection here only, like in data foundation in attribute view. You shown that there was coming data foundation. So here you will find projection. Projection means you can select your table name and required field. And from here you can select again your table name. Okay. So then you can select your output name. And here we was talking about the joins, union, projection, aggregation, rank. So these are the functionality which supported by calculation view. So this is the main difference of attribute view and calculation view. Suppose in data category we will select some other option. So by default aggregation view will be create. Suppose we are taking another calculation view. And from data category, if we will select cube, so if we will select cube, so by default node, we called it node. So by default node will come aggregation, and we can change the default node to star join by selecting the checkbox. If we will select this, so it will comes with star joins, aggregation with star joins. And without selecting this, if you will select queue, so by default node will come aggregation. So aggregation means we can do aggregate of any fields, like we can do summation of any fields in aggregation mode. So if we will select finish, so by default the aggregation node will come. So here if we need to add some fields, like we have to add some amount fields on the base of any document number, any sales order, so we can add that particular amount will be get added with the help of aggregation. Then we have joins options. So we can simply drag and drop here joins. So basically in joins it supports only two tables. Like when we will do joins, so it will basically support joins of two table. So we can drag multiple joins here. Again it will support two tables, so we can do addition of two table here, two tables here. There is not any limitation. We can drop and drag multiple joins. Then we have union option. Union means it will club your joins. We can add two joins here into union. We can add only two joins in one union. So for it, we need to again take some other joins option and then one more union. Then this union what will do? It will joins all the four tables at on the base of common key. It will joins, and then further we can add here in our final node. So this union will become here, and aggregation it will show our all the fields which are coming with the help of these joins, and from this union all the fields will come here, and at this that and this and here you can select your required field. Suppose if you don't want to show any fields which are coming from here, so you can hide it. And in semantics again we need to select our key fields, primary key fields we need to select, and we need to select our type, that it is measure type or it is a simple key. So suppose I am taking here some fields, and when I will go in semantics, so again I am taking one projection. Okay, we can delete this table also. If we by mistake we selected any tables and we don't want to continue it, so we can delete it. We can take any other tables. We can take multiple projection as per requirement. So this table we can remove here. We will do first our selection of fields here, and then we will assign this node to here. So in VVRK, suppose I am taking wavelength mandate BV type. We are taking text to text three fields. So as per requirement, select some fields. Then we can add here, and here we can directly click here if we want to show all the fields. So we can select add all to output. So all the fields will comes in our output. And further in semantics, we can do here like our we can select our primary key from here, and we can activate it. Then we can check our output. So let's uh, try to understand examples of other aggregation. So we can delete directly from here if by mistake we select our any joins or any aggregation. So we can delete from here. We can remove. Then in aggregation we can select our projection also. So like in projection, if we are taking a field of VVAK, and here we are selecting our field, so we can like expand, we can drop and drag, or we can like increase size from here. Suppose we are selecting our wavelength network and just we are adding here into aggregation nodes, and just right click here and take all the outputs. Then in semantics we can select our required fields as a summations and what we want to aggregate. So when we will click on semantics, so it will ask us to select this field as type attribute or measure. Attribute means it will give a number only, means there is we are not wants any aggregation. In netware it is a measure value amount field, so we want it as a measure, so we can select measure. Then aggregation will come, we want sum, we want average, we want count, max, minimum. So all kinds of options it like here we can find, and we can select if we want to summation of network as per wavelength, so we can make it primary key. Then we can activate it, and from here like we can check its output. So if your table contains any data, so by default it will give you the records at like it will sum your network fields value. Then we can select here a rank, and in rank we can use order by and partition by option to make one incremental field. We can select value range here, and we can select the field names if we will taking any tables, so we can select from here the like what is the order by on the base of which fields we want to create rank. So this option like we can use for in generating incremental value. So like this these are the some examples which we need to use in our calculation view: joins, union, projection, aggregation, rank. So this is we called it Hana modeling also. Like in Hana modeling, basically we need to create like we need to do modeling, like we can apply filter value, we can create our calculated column. So here we have an option to create a calculated column. Calculated column means we can create our own custom fields. Like suppose we are consuming here VVAK table, and we have a like we have a requirement to do some addition and some filter, and on the base of wavelength we need to generate some other field with value. So from here we can give a field name, and here is the data type list which HANA supports basically. So this is the native HANA, like we are learning native HANA. So this is the data types of native HANA, like big int, boolean, date, decimal, double, float, integer, in where character, real, second date, a small decimal, a small int, st geometry, st point, time, timestamps. So like these are some examples of like data type which it supports in native HANA. So from here we can put any hard code value, and we can select from here field name also, like what could be value in this custom field. So value of wavelength will comes in this custom fields. We can put here our hard code also. We can use some, we can use minus, all functionality operators we have given here. We have a different functions facility also which we can like use, like conversion functions, then string functions, mathematical functions, date function. So this kind of like functionality we can use in our calculated column. So that's why we called it calculation view, because we have a calculated column options. We can provide our input parameter, we can provide our variable, like which will works like a filter value in our data output. So this is why we called it a calculation view, because all kind of calculation we can perform with the help of calculated column here. And we have multiple options like aggregation, rank, projections, union, join, so which are not possible into attribute view. In attribute view you can only show the master data, like from one tables, from more than one tables you can join, and you can show only what are the records are coming in your table. So nowadays, like we can create one calculation view only at without attribute view also we can works. When SAP launched this HANA object, so basically they like in initial stage we need to create attribute, analytic and calculation view. Then analytic view like absolute. Then we note more requirement of creation of attribute analytic view. So now we can say in single calculation view we can create our attribute view and calculation view also. But if we will create our attribute view, so like for master data we can create some extra view. So like as per our requirement of addition of some fields, subtraction of some fields, so we can do like at that level. So attribute and calculation we need to know in our data modeling side. Then after creation of this HANA view, because this HANA view we are creating on HANA stack, means in S for HANA there are basically two stack, HANA stack and ABAP stack. So basically on HANA stack we developed our HANA objects development we do, and on ABAP stack we develop our CDS view AMDP class, like which is directly consumable, we can directly consume in our ABAP side. So in HANA basically there are two stacks. So after creating this calculation and attribute, we need to consume this HANA view into our ABAP side. So for that purpose we need to create external view. So external view, then we need to create for consumption of this HANA view in our ABAP side, and BW consultant will directly consume this HANA view in their BW side. So for BW and for ABAPer, we need to learn also this HANA modeling objects. And from here, for consumption of HANA view, we need to create external view, and we can consume our HANA view in ABAP side, and BW consultant, they can consume their this calculation attribute view in their BW side with the help of RSRTT codes, and look the practicals of external view. So for external view creations, we need to come in Project Explorer. For calculation and attribute, we can create in our systems, and in Project Explorer, we need to create external view. And from repository, you can export the files. You can export your package in a Project Explorer also for creation of HANA view. So you can create HANA view here also, Project Explorer, but you need to export first repository file, or otherwise you can create in system also, no issue. Then in Project Explorer, this is the ABAP project. So we need to select here and go new, other. We are creating an external view. So we need to select under ABAP package dictionary view. We need to select, then next. Then it will ask you in which package you want to get store this. So we are working in ABAP, so J, G and Y again we need to follow. Then browse the package, you can select any package. Then it will ask your external view name, so you can put external view name. And here here is two option, dictionary view or external view. So here we need to select external view. If you will select dictionary view, so it will ask, we can create our SE11 view like projection view, data dictionary view, help view. So those kind of view we can create from here. So we need to select external view. Then in HANA view, you can browse your calculation and attribute view. If you have remember name, so directly put here the name. And where is asterisk means that is mandatory, so you need to mention here the mandatory fields. So we are creating this external view, write some meaningful name. Okay, so from here, this is the package where you have created your attribute view. Select it, then make next. Then it will ask you the transport request, so select transport request from here and finish it, or you can create your new request, enter a request. So this transport request you can see in SE09. So because you are working on ABAP stack, so it directly like you are working on ABAP side, like as from SAP GUI, how we work like SE09, we can like see the transport request name. So same like you can create here your new transport request, enter request number or existing request number you can select, then finish. Okay, then your external view has created. Then you need to find it in your dictionary view, you can find. You can search also, search Y. Because it is not activated, so you need to synchronize it. Then you need to go in your GUI site and you can check in SC11. Sorry, Z external 25. And display it, and you can activate from here also. So now your external view has activated and you can check your its data from here, and simply you can call this external view in your ABAP report like table. You can use it. So this is the complete like knowledge of creation of attribute and creation of calculation view, then creation of external view, and then you can use in your external your ABAP site. So this is the like complete detail of your HANA modeling, HANA modeling all the objects. Okay.